Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the most painfully slow bike build on YouTube. We've got our 4K vision specs on today. We've got some new toys for the bike and yeah, let's do it. Alright, so last time had a bit of a disaster. The rear brake light number plate setup I'd planned hadn't gotten a plan. Didn't work in the slightest, but thanks to everyone's favourite discount store, China, I now have a number plate bracket that can be mounted where the rear wheel mounts. So hopefully with a little bit of bodging can figure out how to get it on the bike without being in the way of anything too much, and we can actually get rear brake / number plate set up on there. Hopefully can then move to looking at mounting the indicators, because they're also important, and yeah, just keep making slow progress. Okay, so this was where the original plan was for the brake light, on a bodged up stainless steel mudguard. Did not work in the slightest. Fouls the tyre on compression, even though the springs are set at their softest. Just way too much. So the plan is something like so. Now, immediate issue, completely in the way of the exhaust, so that's not going to work as is, but hopefully I can relocate the light over to the left hand side a bit more, get it out of the way of this, and potentially look at bending the bracket for the exhaust slightly more to the right so that the hot gases will go around a bit more. But it's going to take a bit of bodging, but I mean, let's be honest, the theme of this whole build is just bodging it together to see if it'll work, so we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go and we'll do a bit of grinding, we'll do a bit of cutting. Winter is now slowly setting in here in the UK, so the nights are getting darker, but just more of an excuse to sit around in the shed in the dark tinkering. But yeah, let's have a crack. First off, we're going to move the bracket over to the left. There we do have like this one hole here ready to go, however it doesn't line up with the mounting holes for the bracket, so I'm going to utilise that hole there and drill a new one around about here. I think is where it's going to need to be, but we'll mark it up. But yeah, going to need to take off a little bit of the bracket there. I've already marked out the bit that needs trimming so it doesn't interfere with this mounting bracket, and for that dusted off the trusty bench grinder because it seems a bit fiddly to be chopping it and hand sanding it, so we're just going to grind it. Fingers crossed. Right, bracket has been removed. I'm engaging the safety squint as we speak. Only thing left to do is grind it back. Here we go. Ground off a fair bit of meat on that bracket there. That will get painted before it's fitted, but it is sufficient for what we need. Next thing, mark this out, drill it, clean it up, get it to the right size, and yeah, we've moved that over then, and fingers crossed we won't have an issue with the exhaust. Okay, bracket just loosely fixed on there. Oh, this is a bit rough and ready, but that to me looks like it's the position we need. So, little paint pen dab in the middle there. Right, get that disassembled, punched, drilled, and yeah, get the bolt through. Alright, let's give this a little hole punch. Wow, completely not on center. Let's try again. Ah, near enough. Drilling time. Give it a little pilot drill first. God damn. Try and pull that over to the centre. Okay, managed to pull that back a little bit. Next side. Let's see if that's anywhere near what we need. It's on. It's bolted up. A little bit of spray paint just to cover the exposed metal. But yeah, it's on. Let's have a look at fitting it to the back of the bike now. Now I've got one of my least favourite bits. I've got to remove the rear axle. If I was any sort of a lucky person, the bolt would have been on this side, but the bolt is on to the side. So whole axle's got to be slid out to get this on. And I absolutely hate this bit. It was such a struggle trying to get it on in the first place, so wish me luck. Oh, it came out reasonably easy. Right. Let's try and refit this, shall we? Oh, come on, please be in line. Right, let's slack the tensioner off a bit. See if that helps. We'll do the same with the other side. Okay, that one went much easier. Alright. Wiggle time again. I'm going to do this. Oh, we're in. We are in. Right, hammer. Oh, do not want to do that again. Right, so that's going to sit about there. Yeah, that exhaust is definitely going to have to come out a bit more, or else that's just going to be cooking the brake light there. Right, so next bit, gonna fit this rough, just to get it in place, work out where this ultimately sits. And then figure out how much we can get away with bending that exhaust out. I think with a little bit of heat, you should be able to get a bit of a bend on there. I don't believe these are the original exhausts, these just came with the bike. But yeah, all being well. And again, hopefully, once it's all mocked up and everything, I can run this down and behind here, along the rear swing arm, and then up and you shouldn't really see it too much because it'd be quite nice to have as much as possible hidden. But yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I think next, heat up that bracket there, this one, and see if we can't bend that out a little bit. So welcome to the worst, I don't even know what we call this. It's not good, it's not very directed. Just need a little bit of heat in there, just to help it bend out a little bit. I've loosened up the exhaust clamp. I'm not going to go too mad, just want a little bit of warmth in there just to soften it a little bit. The worst blowtorch ever. It is so gentle. I'd almost be better just doing it with my lighter, but we'll see. Let's just have a go. Hopefully I don't burn my hands. Oh, we got a little bit of a bend there. I guess another option is I could actually space that out as well, so it pushes it out. I mean, we're not too far off where it needs to be. It's kind of slightly off to one side, but if we spaced that out, maybe pulled it out this way, that'd work. With a bit of bodging magic, I managed to find a bit of steel spacer. Push the exhaust out, and yeah. Now clearing the taillight. Well, actually feels like I've made a tiny bit of progress there.
Great success!
Check the brake lever, and that doesn't foul the exhaust. It's got full range of movement. So I'm going to chalk that one up as a very small victory. So every bit of this build does feel kind of like an uphill struggle. And it is, you know, I'm feeling my way out as I go, but I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's infuriating, and I often wonder if at the end of all this it's even going to work, but a little bit of me is hopeful that I can have a rideable bike at the end of this that isn't just an instant death trap. And yeah, I am enjoying it, but it's slow. It is slow. I've watched so many videos of people building things, and the progress they make is insane, but it feels slow. It feels really, really slow. And the effort it takes just not to be constantly effing and jeffing on camera is ginormous. Because day to day, normally, quite foul-mouthed, so yeah, having to sort of PG it up quite a lot. But this feels good. It feels like an issue I had before with the stoplight has actually been solved. If anyone's actually watched the previous videos, the bit where I pointed out that I'd made a mark on the makeshift mudguard where it was the wrong mark to make, but it turns out that is actually going to be where the mudguard gets cut, so it fits under the seat nicely. Still have to figure out I'm going to fit the seat. I've got some brackets, again, I think without modding them, then they're going to be useless, but it should be alright. I obviously still need to be able to gain access to the bolts to be able to fit the seat, but yeah, this small win is enough to spur on the next step. So yeah, we'll carry on, we'll keep going, but it probably feels like nothing to everyone else, but a tiny victory is quite a big deal. And that's, yeah, I guess that's kind of the way life is, little victories, and eventually before you know it, you're there. So we'll just keep ploughing on. The old makeshift mudguard off. I'm going to remove the rear light, bend this straight again, and actually cut to the original line I drew on there, and that'll sit nicely under the seat at the back of the bike. And yeah, one step closer to actually getting this fitted in properly, finished, painted in. I'm going to trim to this line here, and that should be close to where the back of the seat is. Oh, this is so sketchy. Alright, we'll offer that up quickly and see if it needs any more cutting off. And there it is, unpainted, unfinished, but had a trim cut to size, shaped. Yeah. Time for a lunch break, and today I'm eating the fine delicacy that is a Bombay Bad Boy pot noodle, which, if you're not familiar with pot noodles, is the quintessential cheap old noodles in a pot, instant noodles. Terrible reputation in the UK for being absolutely disgusting, but personally find them absolutely delicious. And yeah, I mean, I'm quite a classy guy, you know, hang out at high-end restaurants, drive fast cars, hang out with the hoi polloi, but I like to relax with a lovely pot noodle. Plus, the pots are great for storing stuff in. It's a win-win. It's a multi-function light lunch. Of course, the one thing that does go well with a pot noodle is a cup of tea. Oh, whilst enjoying my delicious high-end snack, I had a little brainwave and I've come up with a solution. Obviously the final thing won't be in cardboard, but a solution for the rear indicators. If I can bolt that on there and pop that down like so, there we go. Handy little rear indicator. I think that might be the one. A little bit stainless, round the corners off nicely, bolt it on, paint it black, job's a good one. Okay, centre punched it, lined the two bits up in the vise, gonna drill it now. Okay, now with a slightly bigger drill. Well, that was easy. Alright, countersink, a little countersink. Lovely. Little indicator bracket. Going to sit nicely on the back there. Just got to do a couple of drill holes here and here on both plates, so I can then tap it onto the rear bit of the frame on the bike. I think we might have another little win for the day.
Great success.
So I've worked on the brackets a bit more. Not bother filming it because you don't need to see me just endlessly filing metal. But that's how that's going to sit. A little LED one. Once that's painted black, that should fit in there quite nicely. Just need to do the other on the other side. Got it mocked up but not attached yet. But yeah, back end is actually starting to come together, which just leaves the next scary bit, which is trying to wire it all together and trying to figure out how to put the battery on in that hole there. But yeah, we're getting there. Slowly getting there. Okay, clean them up and gonna give them a little etch prime first. Right, wait for that to dry and then we'll do the other side. Got the brackets sprayed with stone chip and the mudguard. Just got to let that dry and then I'll be flipping it over and doing to the side. Yeah, not bad. It's also got pretty dark outside. Good old British winter. It's another day and it's getting chilly here in the UK, so bobble hat time. And since the last clip, the mudguard has been painted with stone chip. The brackets for the indicators are made up, and I'm just going to put the edging strip on the mudguard and sort out the indicators into the brackets, and then we'll get them on the bike. That is the edger on the mudguard, the indicators into the brackets, put a bit of heat shrink over the wires, and some harness tape to, I guess, protect it, neaten it up a little bit. Next, we'll put them on there, and then I think we'll wheel it out, see what the bike looks like, and that'll do for now. Right, I've got them bits attached. I figure probably going to roll it out in the garden and have a look at it, because it's been in the shed a long while, and I think it's nice to just remind yourself that you are doing this for a reason. So here it is, kind of cobbled together. Still things to do, but getting there. The indicator's on, brake light and number plate holder in place. Ignore the bird's nest of wiring on the side there, that will be sorted out. But yeah, this is it, this is the bike. Still don't know if it's going to run or not though, time will tell on that one, untested engine. But yeah, happy with how she's looking. So, made a lot of progress in this one. Bit of a longer video, but like I say, I'm enjoying the editing, so that isn't too bad. Whether or not anyone actually makes it to this point is a different matter. Kind of felt like got a fair bit done on the bike this week. Had a few setbacks, obviously, in the first two videos. It seemed everything I touched was going just wrong. But now, we've got the number plate on, got the indicators on. It's down to the wiring, which I can muddle my way through. I've got a wiring diagram in a Haynes joke book, so I've kind of got a rough idea of what I'm doing. And I know how to use a set of crimps, and I can terminate wires properly and everything, so that's all right. But yeah, it feels close now. It feels like I need to start thinking about getting a CBT booked and learning to actually ride the bike. And then I know I'm running before I can walk now, but I've already got my eye on the next bike I want to buy. It'll be a bought bike for actually going around on little adventures on, rather than trying to actually build a bike. But I figured this was important to learn how bikes go together and what bit does what. So yeah, I'm really excited. It's a bit of a positive note, this one. But yeah, there will be another video. Still very much enjoying this. No, I'm not reaching many people, but anyone that is watching, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. So thank you. Cheers.